Hey guys, so I recently got an email from someone that I know, and it was in response to the newsletter that I'd done that I put out for April, asking that if anyone had any questions of a psychic nature, of a spiritual nature, of a metaphysical nature, of a supernatural nature, that they wanted me to answer in a Q&A video to let me know, and one of the emails that I got I thought was especially interesting, and I'll read that to you now because I think it brings up some really valid points, and I think it brings up some things that you don't hear as often or that people don't ask as commonly, and I definitely have some thoughts with this that I would like to address. So, the email reads, Hi Travis, I know what you mean. I've been spending a lot of time in stillness this winter. I'm hoping that positive things will begin to manifest for the springtime. As for questions that I have for possible YouTube videos, it seems to me that the more spiritually connected you become, the more sensitive you become to the craziness in the world around you. This can lead to isolation from family and friends and just the outside world in general. It kind of drives me nuts and doesn't really seem fair, to be honest. How do you cope? And not just cope, but thrive in such a world? It seems like the more I try to protect myself and try to maintain high energy, the more I feel lousy. I feel like this winter I've just been surviving and just trying to make it through. I used to feel good when I was meditating, but now I don't even feel that good after meditating anymore. I've cleaned up my diet, detoxified my home, and filled it with green plants. I use essential oils on a daily basis. I take warm baths almost every night, keep stones and other natural items around me for grounding. I clear my chakras on a regular basis. I don't have a TV. I listen to the news. I don't listen to the news, or I don't spend much time on social media, and I try to limit time spent in larger groups or with people of lower energy. But it just seems to be making me even more and more sensitive. I sometimes wish I could go back to a time when I didn't know about spirit, but spirit assures me that I can't go back, only forward. It seems like when we're in a transitional stage where a lot of lower energy needs to be released so that we can move into a way of living that is more centered on love for each other and for the earth. Do you have any idea how long this transition is going to last? And question number two is there a point where you can have a codependent relationship with spirit that is detrimental? Are you in a constant communication with spirit throughout the day? I am. There is never a time when I am not. I feel the need to ask spirit what I should do at all times, thinking that it will guide me to a better place of well being. But as I mentioned, it just seems to be getting more and more sensitive and mired down the more I listen to what spirit is telling me to do. I almost feel as though my life is not my own anymore. And although I understand that keeping my vibration high is helpful and healing to those around me, it makes me feel lousy all the time when I am constantly releasing lower energy from people and being brought down by the energy level. And then I have to spend time giving myself a lot of self care to feel better again. Sometimes I want to break away and just do something without asking Spirit if it would be something if I should do or not. But Spirit tells me that that's not a wise choice. Spirit says that I must live a life of service now, and that with knowledge comes great responsibility. I know that Spirit is leading me to fulfill my destiny, but I never realized just how difficult it would be. I had this mistaken idea that once one becomes enlightened, that life would be much easier. And although it is in some respects, it also is incredibly difficult in others. I guess there are trade offs with everything. Anyways, perhaps sharing your ideas and experiences on those topics might help too. So, I do have a lot to say about this. And I must admit that this has caused me to think because some of these issues are issues that I've reflected on myself. Some of these issues are things that I've struggled with myself. And so, that being said, I don't necessarily have all the answers, but I do have, I guess, realizations I've come to from my own experience, and hopefully that does help. So, to kind of address the first part of the question, I do think that the more conscious you are, the more awareness you have, the more responsibility that you do have. And I do think that in some regards it can make it more difficult to be around people, especially if, as a result of what you know or as a result of what you believe, um, your sensitivities are increased. And so, the big thing that I would say here is a lesson that came to me a few different ways in life. And sometimes that it came, I rejected it, and other times I embraced it, and I found that overall it's something that does serve me. And it's this: there's nothing to be protected from. There's truly nothing that we need to protect ourselves from. Um, the first time that I got this lesson was from a teacher that I was doing a mediumship class with, named Sharon Klingler. She's an excellent medium. If you want to check her out, you can Google her. But she told us that in class, someone brought up this idea of protecting, spiritual protection, or psychic protection, or energetic protection. And she says, what do you have to be protected from? You are divine. You are source in a physical form. You are one with all that there is. You're one with the allness and everything that's encompassed within that. Are you protecting yourself from yourself? You're either divine or you're temporal. Which is it? And I've really come to believe that it's divine. Um, when you realize that those people that drain your energy, those people that bring you down, those situations that exhaust you are you, it kind of puts a different spin on things, and it kind of changes your perspective a little bit. Um, and it's great too, if you feel the need to surround yourself with white light and things like that, um, go ahead and do that. But it's about maintaining a high vibration, not protecting yourself or putting walls up, stopping something else from getting in, or stopping someone or something from taking or drawing energy to you. And the thing is, too, as someone who's been incredibly sensitive, as someone who's dealt with anxiety, as someone who has struggled with chronic fatigue, I can tell you, putting and visualizing white light around you um, doesn't help. It does not help me, and that's not to bash that. If that helps, or if that serves someone, if you're a psychic or reader or just a sensitive person, and visualizing that white light around you helps you, by all means go ahead and do that. If you're experiencing less discomfort, go ahead and do that. But for me, I just noticed that it hasn't helped. And I think too, if you're going to feel the need for a protection in that way, see it as a reinforcement of the light of your own soul. See it coming from within, not somewhere without. Don't give your power away to other people, because you are divinity in a physical form. Um, and there's nothing that you need protection from, because there's nothing that you are not. And I think too, we have to find a balance, and that's a struggle or a lesson that we all go through. But that's part of being here. That's part of the purpose. We all have personal lessons, and we all have karmic issues that we need to address. But all of us are here to seek balance, because we're not just a body. We're not just a spirit. We're a body. We're a mind. We're a spirit. We're here to learn to live holistically. And that's where I think we create a lot of imbalance, or we create exhaustion or fatigue or irritability or antisocialness or anxiety. And it's an ongoing process. And I think, too, specifically for the asker of the question, it kind of leads into question number two. Can you have a codependent relationship with spirit? Yes. And can that be an aspect of what's out of balance, leading you to not feel good, or leading you to feeling fatigued or tired or irritable or run down? Absolutely. Here's the thing. We are here autonomously. We are in this oneness, in the bigger picture or the broader perspective, but we chose to come into this physical reality. We chose to seemingly temporarily forget that connection to experience this illusion of singularity. So we could come into this physical experience, evaluate the contrast, create, learn, and grow from the contrast that we experience. And spirit is there to guide us. And when she talks about spirit, it's an umbrella term for our guides. If you work with angels, your angels. If you think of it as the connection to the higher self, your higher self. Any sort of spirits, guiding spirit, helping spirit, higher divine intelligence, often falls under that category, or that umbrella of spirit in the way that she uses it. And so spirit is there to assist us, but we're kind of here to do this for ourselves. It's almost as if you got hired for a job, and then you went into that job, and they say, okay, these are your responsibilities. This is what you're supposed to do. But then you say, you go to your boss, hey, can I open the drawer? Hey, can I use my stapler? Hey, can I put my name at the top of the paper? Hey, can I go to the bathroom? Hey, can I do this? Hey, can I do that? And your boss inevitably is thinking, I hired you because I thought you were capable. I hired you to handle these things. I am someone that you can come to when you feel stuck. I'm someone that you can come to for general guidance and direction. But our guides, our boss, spirit, is not there to tell us what to do, how to live, because that defeats the purpose and that defeats the point. And so, yes, you can have an unhealthy relationship with spirit, and you can meditate too much, and you can be too disconnected from your body, and your vibration can be too high. Here's the thing, we live in a dense physical reality. It's part of our experience. We chose here. Um, we're not going to completely get out of here until we're dead, and even after we're dead, we may come back again. So we have to comply within the illusion. We have to go along with what we're given. Yes, we know that this physical reality isn't real or isn't the home of the soul. Yes, I know that I am a soul and I am not a body, and that this body is a temporary vessel. But for the time being, I'm in this third dimensional reality. I'm in this physical incarnation. I am in this lifetime. I am on planet Earth, and I need to engage the Earth experience. And if you're constantly looking to source, if you're constantly have one foot, in spirit, well, I can't say too much. As a medium, I always have one foot here and one foot over there. But if you are more over there than you are over here, then you're not engaging the experience that you came in to do. And if spirit, the guides, the messages that you're getting are telling you that you need to turn to them for every answer, that you need to turn to them for every direction, and they're telling you what to do, then perhaps you need to reevaluate those connections that you have in spirit. Perhaps they aren't really the most highly evolved guides or the most highly evolved consciousness or entities or energies or source of guidance for you. No true spirit guide, no, whether it be a higher self, an angelic guide, a protector, a family member in spirit, they will not try to tell you what to do. They will not try to control your life. They are not here to live your life. You're here to live your life. And so sometimes part of what might be your lesson is learning how to make decisions for yourself. Take in what you've learned and what you've come to know from spirit or from your connection to spirit or from your spirituality and your spiritual path, and then use it to formulate an informed decision that you think would be good for you. And like I said, it's okay to check in with spirit. It's great to meditate and touch base and connect with your higher self, to connect with your soul, to connect with your spirit, to connect with your guides, to connect with your loved ones that are around you. But you are here. You are living this life. It's your decisions. It's your direction. You have to live with the consequences. You need to come to the conclusions for yourself. And like I said, being too much in connection with spirit, meditating too much spirit and not as much focus on mind or body can absolutely contribute to the feeling fatigued, to feeling anxious, to having a hard time being around people. And so my advice here, to be a little more human. The soul is beautiful and the soul is eternal, but humanity is fleeting. And I think that's what makes humanity even more beautiful and even more worth engaging, because it could be over tomorrow. And I don't want to find myself at a point where I say, here is eternity. I have always had it and I will always have it. And it is. But my humanity was fleeting and I didn't make the best of it. Or my humanity was fleeting and I was sick all the time. My humanity was fleeting and I didn't connect with other people and I didn't engage to my fullest potential, because that did not fulfill me. That did not feed my spirit. That did not leave me feeling in joy. And really, there is no purpose or meaning or this big, profound, mystical, cryptic meaning to life. It's simply to be, to experience, to grow. And I think joy is probably a pretty good part of that. So I hope this helps. I hope this may be insightful in some way. As I said, it's my experience. It's not the gospel truth. But yeah, thank you.